Today, I am making a delicious Cajun cod with roasted sweet potatoes and a corn salad. Pretty good. I love doing this. This is a sheet pan meal as well, which is fantastic because we're cooking it all on one sheet pan. It's gonna be a total breeze. But before I get going, I wanna make my Cajun seasoning. Now, if you have Cajun seasoning in your pantry, use it. Don't worry about it, I won't blame you. Even Tex-Mex seasoning would be delicious, but I'll show you how to make mine. So the first thing I need is 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika. That's gonna give like a nice, smoky, delicious flavor. Anytime I'm using smoked paprika, I kind of equate it to like the bacon of the spice cupboard. So add in 2 tablespoons of that into a little bowl. And then for a bit of heat, I'm gonna add in 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. And cayenne pepper is great, yeah, a little spicy. You can pull this back definitely if you're looking for something a little more mild, but you definitely need a bit of that heat in here. Super tasty. And if your cayenne pepper has been in your cupboard for a while, just go with the 2 teaspoons. It'll be fine. This just it eventually just tastes like spicy red dust. If it's new, 1 teaspoon would probably be good. All right, now 2 teaspoons of onion powder, because onion powder gives almost like the flavor of roasted onions without having to roast them. It also doesn't burn as quickly as onions, so it's really great to get oniony flavor in quickly without it burning. Now 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, which does similar things. It gives like roasted garlic flavor in. And I'm someone who has like a spice pantry just absolutely full of so many things, so that's why I always like making my own spice mixes, just to use things up. Now into there, I'm also gonna season that with about a teaspoon of salt. So add that on in. And then about a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm gonna fake it though, because this is a slow pepper mill. So I'm just gonna do as much as I feel like doing. And it's about that. Perfect. I'm gonna call that a 1/4 teaspoon. Obviously add a bit more if you want at home. Now into there, for a little bit of herbiness, I'm adding in 1/2 teaspoon of dry oregano, as well as 1/2 teaspoon of dry thyme. These are all classic Cajun seasonings, really nice and bright and delicious. Now give that a stir together, and you can store that in your spice cupboard along with everything else for up to, honestly, I'd keep it up to like a year. It would be delicious still. It'll work, it'll be good and wonderful. Perfect. So that spice mixture is done. Now moving on to the starch of this sheet pan meal, and that is sweet potatoes. So I've got 4 sweet potatoes here that I've cut into nice wedges. And to be honest, I cut them kind of like haphazard. I just cut them however they want to be cut. Sweet potatoes are a weird shape. Cut it however you want. Now into there, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of oil. And oil, when you're cooking with oil, basically what it's doing is it attracts heat onto the food better. So it gives a nice golden brown outside. Makes it so the food doesn't burn because the oil's getting hot, and it kind of almost like sort of fries in the oven. Really tasty and delish. Now I'm gonna season that with a tablespoon of that Cajun seasoning we made. Again, you can go a little less, little more depending on your spice tolerance. And I'm gonna give that a nice toss up, just to coat. And now I'm gonna transfer these sweet potatoes onto a sheet pan. So this is my one tip anytime I am making a sheet pan meal. If something's gonna take longer in the oven, I do what I call the seafood boil approach. I'm gonna put these sweet potatoes in first and give them a head start before I start adding other things. So I'm gonna add those on into my 400-degree oven, and those need about 20 minutes just to start getting nice and tender. And while those start doing their thing, I'm gonna get to work on the protein and veg of this dish. So for the protein, I'm doing cod. Cod is delicious, it cooks really nice and quickly. So I've got 4 cod fillets here. You could also do salmon, would be great. Shrimp, absolutely delicious. You could even do chicken if you wanted, though I would probably add that in with the sweet potatoes because it does take longer to cook than fish. But I'm just adding that on into the same bowl as those sweet potatoes because there's still a little seasoning and oil in there. Now give that a bit of a toss together. And then I've also got 3 ears of corn here that I've shucked and I've removed the kernels from because corn is absolutely delicious right now still. Super wonderful. Add that on in. Maybe a bit more oil. Maybe a bit more seasoning because I like things spicy. Absolutely delish. Give that a toss together. And now I'm gonna go grab those sweet potatoes. I've got some that have already been roasting for 20 minutes. And they look beautiful and golden, absolutely delish. Right? Not too shabby. So I'm just gonna give those a bit of a toss and shove those over to one side of that sheet pan, because this is where we're gonna start adding the rest of my flavors. So here I've got that cod and that delish corn. I'm gonna add that cod down kind of in quadrants. That's gonna cook up. It's gonna be so delicious and flaky. And then I'm also gonna toss that corn on, just again, in that final quadrant. That's gonna roast up too. I'm gonna pop that back into my 400-degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes, just until that's flaky and this is still crisp and delish. Then when we come back, I'm gonna put this all together. Today, I am making my Cajun cod with roasted sweet potatoes and a corn salad. So we've got all of that roasted deliciousness right here. Like, look how good that looks. Right there, that looks like dinner to me. But since essentially I did tell you that we were having a vegetable, but I made that vegetable corn, which is technically a grain. So I'm gonna make this into more of a veggie kind of salad situation. It looks so good. So I wanna make that roasted corn and give it a bit of brightness. So into a large bowl, I'm gonna mince in 1 clove of garlic. That's gonna give me like the base of something a little bright, a little spicy. I'm just popping that right on into the bowl. Now, if you've ever watched me cook before, you will know I hate chopping garlic. So this rasp is my #1 tool, because all you do is swipe that garlic over top, give it a tap, and you've got your garlic right in the bowl. Perfect. Now into there, to just start pulling back on that raw garlic flavor, I've got a lime here. Now if you wanted to do a lemon, that would be great. But for me, lime is really nice. It's kind of like a slightly more bitter version of citrus. Also, fun bonus, no seeds. I don't have to worry about seeds. I don't know why there's no seeds in a lime. It's probably science. But I appreciate it because it makes squeezing them real easy. So I'm just adding in the juice of that lime right on into that garlic. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna kind of pull back on that spicy rawness of the garlic and almost pickle it a little bit. It's gonna be delish. Give that a bit of a stir. And now into there, I'm gonna toss in some cherry tomatoes. Anytime I'm looking for tomatoes and it's not tomato season, cherry tomatoes are my go-to. They are always nice and bright and fresh. Now into there, a little bit of avocado for some creaminess. And again, that lime juice is gonna help. I know, I love an avocado. We don't even charge extra for it here, so it's very exciting. Give that a bit of a toss. And now I'm gonna add in that nice hot roasted corn. The heat of that corn is again gonna further slightly cook that garlic up. Just spoon that on in with all that amazing Cajun seasoning. Like absolutely delicious. If you make a bit of a mess, guess what? That's life. That's why my mom hates cooking, yeah. Perfect. Give that a bit of a toss. And then for a little bit of green, as opposed to throwing lettuce or anything in here, I'm just gonna throw in some fresh herbs. So I've got some chives here, which I absolutely love. And I'm just gonna roughly chop those up. I like to keep things nice and big and chunky, because that's gonna give a real nice flavor into there, as well as some fresh basil. If you had parsley, that would be delicious. A little bit tarragon would be great, cilantro. If you wanted to, you could throw some feta cheese in here if you're someone who's okay mixing cheese and fish, which I am, I'm not gonna lie. Toss that in, give that a toss. And then to plate this baby up, all you need is, I've got some garlicky mayo here, because I love mayo. Gonna add a bit of that down onto my plate. Delicious. Pop on some of that amazing cod. Nice flaky, crispy cod. Some of those sweet potatoes right on there. And then the pièce de résistance, in my opinion, this amazing corn, tomato, and avocado salad. Like, to me, this looks like a gourmet meal that took me all of no time to throw together. It's absolutely delicious. It's fresh, it's bright, and it's gonna be a little bit spicy. I'm gonna dig into this. We're gonna take a quick break, but we will be right back. My mom, Myra, is hanging out in the kitchen with me today. Mom, how you feeling about that?
A little nervous.
A little nervous?
Yeah, a little nervous.
I think you're gonna do great.
I'll take instructions from you this time.
I know, this is a real switcheroo, let me tell you. We had such a great time fishing that I had to make some sort of salmon dish, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But we're not eating any of the ones we caught.
No, we're not eating the ones we caught. We really liked letting them free to do their thing. So we are, though, going to do a delicious seared salmon with a feta creamed corn. I know. Mom, what's your favorite type of cheese?
Feta.
Feta.
Yeah.
So we obviously have to put
Salt.
some feta in there. Yeah, she just loves salt, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to get you to do, Mom, is drizzle a little bit of oil onto those salmon fillets. We've got 4 salmon fillets here. They usually come in about like 200-gram portions, which is perfect. You want just a couple teaspoons of oil. That looks perfect.
Okay.
Now, I don't usually actually add oil into my pan. I like to put it on the fish itself because it reduces splatter, which is always good.
Yeah.
Because, Mom, why do you hate cooking?
I don't like mess.
She doesn't like mess.
Don't like mess at all. No.
That's why I very quickly took over the kitchen in our house, right?
Yeah, you're not so messy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My husband would beg to differ, but that's okay. All right, I'm just seasoning that up with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then, Mom, would you take that over here to this far little pan? And would you add that salmon in fleshy side down?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is how I like to cook my salmon. This salmon does have skin on it, but I like to go fleshy side down because that's gonna give you a beautiful golden sear on that flesh, which is the part you're mainly eating. If you like eating the skin, you can definitely crisp that up as well. This is how I like to do things. Also, salmon is meat because it kind of gives you, are we gonna fit it? I think you can do it.
I'm going to fit it.
You're
if I
gonna
can-
fit it.
They're harder to catch like this than they were in the boat.
There you go.
Okay. And
Now
they're
just
not
leave them.
even-
No, don't even move them.
I don't want them to stick.
You want them to stick.
It makes a mess.
No, listen. Okay, so when you first put any sort of meat into a pan, it's gonna wanna stick. Basically what's happening is the proteins are freaking out. They're just like, ugh, and they're sticking to that pan. But as it cooks, it releases. So it's sticking off the top, that's fine.
Okay.
It's all gonna all come together.
All right.
Also, salmon's cool because you can kind of watch it cook up the side, kind of like a thermometer.
I can see it already.
Exactly. All right, can you keep an eye on that while I cut an onion?
Yes, I can.
Nailed it. Perfect. My mom typically likes to do this really cool recipe with salmon, and it's called overcooked salmon.
It's good. It's good.
Honestly, I don't hate it. She
You
does
like it that way.
mustard and maple on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of home. You know. Yeah. All right. So I've got a red onion here. Now you could totally use a yellow onion, whatever your house onion is. You know, house red and white wine, house red and white onion. I'm just gonna dice this baby up. And Mom, while I'm doing that, would you mind popping a tablespoon of butter into that pan?
Okay.
That pan is about over medium-ish heat. And I just want that to kind of melt in. And anytime I'm making corn, I like to use butter. Oh, she hot.
Should I do that?
Now you're mad you didn't wear an apron that I told you to wear, aren't
I know. I'll just stand up. Should I do that?
No, this is perfect. Just leave it.
Okay, just leave it.
And listen, if it browns up, it'll be perfect and delicious. You're gonna end up with like brown butter corn, which is amazing.
I always get antsy when that happens.
No. That's just flavor, baby. And as it's starting to brown, though, if it starts to brown a little quickly, that's when you want to rush and get your stuff in the pan. So I've got my onion. Just going to dice that up real quick. And now I'm going to add that on into the pan with that butter.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
nice
that looks
splatter.
beautiful. There you go.
Oh.
Want to season that with some salt and pepper, Mom?
Yeah.
So anytime you're adding vegetables into a pan, you want to season it with salt, mainly salt first. You can also add that pepper, but that salt is going to drop some moisture.
Sorry.
No, that doesn't matter.
Can I put my fingers in?
Yeah, get them in there. Get your little mitts in that salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's for us. We're good.
Exactly. So you want to put the salt in because the salt draws moisture out of those onions, which then helps them cook down and caramelize.
I thought that was only with mushrooms.
No, it's with any vegetable.
okay.
All right, give that a stir, Mom.
Oh, it smells good.
Now, typically I'd let this cook down for butter and onions. Are you kidding me? Just a dream.
That's all you need.
Now, typically I'd let this cook down for a few minutes just until golden, but I'm gonna toss in my corn now. So I've got 3.5 cups of corn. You can use corn spread off the cob because corn is really good this time of year.
Oh, very nice.
Corn has been excellent this year. Thank you to the corn farmers. But you want to cook, you can, yes!
Yeah, corn farmers.
You could also, though, if you wanted to, use frozen corn. You could use canned. Canned gives you like a classic corn flavor.
It tastes so corny.
I know, it's not that.
It does. It's made of corn.
There you go. I was like, she didn't even mean to be funny there. That's just living with Myra Berg. Perfect. Now, in there, I'm also going to add in some garlic. So I've got 2 cloves of garlic, and I love using, this is my favorite tool, right, Mom?
Yeah.
I love my rasp.
I've got one just like that.
I know. You got it.
This is the best thing for grating, like getting garlic, rather than the crusher thing.
The crusher thing's the worst. I hate chopping garlic. It makes my hand
stuck.
Ugh, it's the worst. So I just always use a rasp or like a microplane. So just mince that up. Looking good. Are you going to be able to try to flip some of that salmon?
You bet, yeah.
Oh, let's give it a go. Here, I'll give you a flipper.
Oh,
So it's 2 cloves of garlic.
I just learned this is a fish flipper.
Oh, Mom.
Uh-huh.
Okay, not bad. Maybe a little more of a sear. Maybe a little more of a sear, but I'm feeling it.
Okay, should I leave it?
Yeah, leave it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's still good.
Should I flip that one back
No,
over?
leave it
Okay.
also. It's going to be great.
Okay.
So I've got that garlic in there. Now I'm going to spice it up with about a teaspoon of chili flakes. You can also use cayenne pepper here. That's going in that
Chili
corn.
flakes look pretty.
They do look pretty.
Yeah.
They're absolutely delicious. And then we wanted this to thicken up. Now, corn has a little bit of starch in it, obviously, but I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of flour just to help that along. This is kind of what you call a roux,
Yeah,
which is a fancy French word for fat and flour together.
and hot butter.
Hot butter is always a good thing. Now, into there, to build a nice creamy sauce, I've got 3/4 of a cup of milk, and I've got it warmed because that's going to mix in really nicely. So give that a bit of a mix, Mom. Looking good. And then, because we're making
Whoops, one jumped out.
whoops, like a fish. Since we're making creamed corn, I'm going to add in about a 1/2 cup of whipping cream.
Whoa.
Because why not, right? All right, I'm going to pour that on in.
I think that guy needs to go.
Oh, we'll get them out.
Okay.
It'll just be a nice little chunky onion. And then I'm also going to sweeten this up with just a little bit of sugar. Now, that's going to come up to a simmer. That salmon's, yeah, the sugar just gives it a bit of sweetness.
Yes, because, yeah, really, corn needs to be sweet.
Corn needs to be sweet. You heard it here first. Perfect. So I'm just adding that in. That's going to come up to a simmer. That salmon is going to finish cooking. And then, Mom, you want to add cheese after?
Yes.
Perfect. We got to take a quick break, and then we're going to add some cheese.
Absolutely.
Berg is in the kitchen with me. Mom, what are we making?
Seared salmon and creamed corn.
Yes.
And it looks with feta cheese.
Well, we got to add that feta cheese in, but first I'm going to chop up some herbs, because I love herbs. This time of year, this is the only thing I can grow is herbs. If I eat it, I'll grow it. If not, it's going to die. So I've got some chives here, which are super easy to grow, and I just want about a 1/4 cup of finely chopped chives. Mom, you love chives, right?
I do.
Now, you could do another herb in here. If you want parsley would be great. What else can you think of?
Not dill.
No, she hates dill. Actually, she claims to hate dill, yet she loves dill pickles.
I do like
Yeah.
dill pickles.
Seems like a little bit of a
Parsley
suspect.
or chives are perfect.
Chives are delicious. You could also use
They go with
green onions.
potatoes and corn and all that stuff.
It's so good. It's so, so good. Now, I'm also going to chop up about 2 tablespoons of some basil. Mom, do you want to turn the heat on the salmon off? I think that's the bottom knob.
Turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nailed it. Perfect. Now, about 2 tablespoons of basil. That's going to brighten things up. I really like basil. It kind of has like, this is not going to sell people. It kind of has a little bit of a licorice-y flavor, but in a good way. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of like not bad black licorice. Don't let you hate it. It's delicious. Now, I'm just going to chop up a little bit more of that. Now, Mom.
Yeah.
Do you see that feta right there? That's about 150 grams of feta right there, because we're going big. You want to add that into the corn?
Now it's 147.
There you go. She's eating it.
Now,
There
do
you
I
go.
mix this in? Or
Yeah,
just...
mix it on in.
Whoa, that's a lot of cheese.
It's a lot of cheese, guys. I did not skimp on the cheese. You can use less if you'd like,
Okay,
but we're going in.
I did it.
All right, I'm coming in with some herbs, Mom. Pop those on in.
Oh, that's pretty.
Those are looking beautiful. Now, if you wanted to, which is what we're gonna do, this is done. It looks so creamy and delicious. You could keep cooking it until that feta melts in, but we like those little pops.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, oh, you got feta on your face.
How did that get there?
I don't know. There you go. Now, you could also pop this under the broiler, give it a little bit of golden brown on top, which would be amazing. But
Be like cream corn pizza.
cream corn pizza, it's a thing, I guess. Do you want to bite some? Want to taste?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I'm going to serve up the cream corn if you want to serve up that salmon.
Okay.
Now, how I would serve this is spoon of, oh my gosh, this cream corn looks so good.
It looks delicious. It smells good.
It's basically creamed feta with corn as an accoutrement. Add that onto a plate, looking absolutely beautiful. Those little bits of onion.
Oh.
And Mom, you want to pop a piece of fish on top of there for me? Beautiful. You got nailed it. We nailed it.
Kind of.
Guys, this is how dinner looks at my house. Honestly, not bad,
Yay.
Now, how about you do the corn and I do the salmon for this next one?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now, anytime you're cooking salmon, again, I don't know what happened to yours. Mine came right off the bottom of this thing.
Well, you know.
A
fish like you better than
They
me.
do like, well, you're the lucky, it's because you're so good at catching them. They know I'm their friend.
I can pick the yeah, you let them go.
There you go. Pop that right on top. Do you want to pop that over there, Mom?
Oh, that looks delicious.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh, pop a little extra herb on top of there, maybe some basil, little bit of some chives if you had it. But that to me looks like one heck of a summery dinner.
Oh, lovely.
We did
a good job.
I think we did a beautiful job.
Yes.
And truly, we made that in front of you. That's how quick that was.
I know.
Yeah.
It didn't take any time at all.
Salmon's really quick if you don't overcook it. Yeah.
You like it
I
that
do
way.
like it. It's all good. Okay, let's give it a go.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going in for a little bit of that salmon.
Oh, it's just done so
It's
nicely.
so nice. It's so flaky. That golden brown crispy on top. You only get that. Basically, I like to cook my salmon almost fully on that first side. Flip it just to finish it. Okay, let's go.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, this is really good. Whoa.
I took a bigger bite.
Huh?
Tell me what else you like about it.
What else I like
Yeah,
about
what
it?
flavors you tasting?
Feta cheese.
Feta
Yeah.
cheese.
Salt.
She got some salt. That herb in there is really nice.
It's really nice. It is, yeah.
Ooh, that corn is delicious.
Is really nice. And this was fresh corn?
This is fresh. You can do it
Okay.
also again with frozen or canned. Well,
Oh, it's so
honestly,
good.
thank you so much for cooking with me today, Mom. It is that wonderful time of year where the leaves start turning. There's a bit of a chill to the mornings, but we're still holding on to a bit of sun and warmth. So today, we're celebrating that transition from summer to fall with our summer send-off. Helping me whip up delicious late summer dishes before the season comes to an end. Please welcome my good buds, Owen Reeves, Andrea Bucket, and Alex Page. Say toodaloo to the old summer.
Goodbye.
Yeah. So are we set? I am an autumn girl at heart.
I'm an October baby, so I'm all about the fall.
Okay.
Fall's my favorite.
Fall's fave?
I love fall. I mean, June is maybe my favorite month,
Okay.
but fall maybe season.
Interesting.
That's a bit weird, but
yes, I'm so glad. We gotta get into that later. I'm very interested in this.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna kick things off with a delicious recipe using my all-time fave summer ingredient, especially this summer. Did y'all eat corn this year?
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
Nice and sweet.
Sweet,
Yeah,
delicious. I never a starchy cob in sight. Absolutely delicious. Okay, so y'all go have a seat
Okay.
because I'm gonna get working on this recipe. So I'm gonna make a summery, delicious corn and burrata pasta. I know. We're very trendy, we're very cute. I'm very excited about it. I love a burrata. But not only is this dish super delicious, it's also really, really quick to make.
Is it, Mary?
It is, and I'm doing the thing.
find out.
I'm doing the thing to myself where I woke up this morning, I said, Mary Berg, why'd you do this? We're gonna time it. We're gonna time it and see if I can do it in less than, I'm gonna give myself 12 minutes, okay? Okay. All right. Are y'all ready to count me in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, to get started, we need to cook our pasta. Pasta is the thing that's gonna take the longest in this recipe, so let's get to work on it. So I have cheated lightly, I have boiling water. That's okay, whatever, just, you can write me a letter about it, it's fine. So I'm gonna add in a good amount of salt. Now this is a lot of water, so I'm going in with a good amount of salt. Don't be
Yes.
mad at me.
No.
Alex, you're not mad at me.
No, I love it.
Yes. So you want to season that water up well, because not only is it going to season the pasta, it's also going to season the sauce later. Speaking of pasta, we're going in with spaghetti. I got 350 grams here. Just add that right on into the pot. I like to do that fancy little twist.
Love it,
It's
yeah.
very exciting.
She's on fire already.
Oh my gosh,
know,
thank
I
you.
know.
I was like, oh, no, I'm not. 40 seconds just to get noodles in a pot? Terrible. All right, so if you wanted this to go even quicker, you could do it with spaghettini, angel hair. That
Ooh,
would
I
be
love that.
breezy. This should take about, I'd say, 8 to 10 minutes. I am gonna add the lid on just to speed that up. Now, I've got a pan here over about medium heat, and I've got the noodles going. Now I'm gonna work on the topping. Sounds a little backwards, but it's gonna be good. So into that pan, I'm gonna add in about a tablespoon of butter, and I love a little bit of a crunch on my pasta. How do you guys feel about a crunch?
I love a little crunch.
Yeah. Okay, we got a little hot pan. We are ready to go. So I'm gonna go into that pan. You know what? I'm also adding in some oil because our pan's a little spicy. That's gonna be beautiful. All right, now I wanna flavor this butter up, so I'm going in with some sage. I have got about 2 tablespoons of chopped up sage here, and as soon as that sage hits the butter, it starts to fry up. Starts to get beautiful. Crispy, beautiful. Now I wanna go in with some panko. Panko is perfect for crisp. Going in with about half a cup of panko here, so just add that right on in. Season that up with some salt, little bit of crushed red pepper flakes if you're feeling fancy.
Mary, do you
Yes.
always toast the panko ahead of time?
Andrea, you're getting ahead of me, and I love it
Oh my
so
God, I'm
much.
sorry.
No, it's fantastic. So I got a bone to pick with panko, and that is that it is, honestly, it's just crunch. It doesn't give you a lot of flavor. So I do love toasting it up to give it that golden brown color and that golden brown flavor.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I used to have like a thing. I actually think I wrote in one of my books that I hate panko, and I'm retracting it right now. Here we are.
Panko ever do to you?
Honestly, it's because it's just a crunch, no flavor. This though is gonna have flavor. We've got that butter in there, that sage. It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
So I'm
it
gonna let
smells
that toast. Do you smell it?
Yeah,
It's autumn.
Yes.
A little autumn.
This is the thing. I wanted to do something for shoulder season. We're moving into
Yeah.
autumn. So as opposed to using basil or chives or something like that, I wanted to use that sage for that warm kind of toastiness. Okay, so that's doing its thing, toasting up, looking beautiful. Now I'm gonna get to work prepping the veg for the sauce. Now I promised you corn, but we're gonna start with some shallot. So I need about half of a shallot here. And I'm just gonna give that a little trim just to get that little bit off. And I just wanna finely mince that up. Now, when we're talking chopping, you don't have to be all that precise because this is all gonna go into a food processor. But since I want this to cook quickly, I am gonna dice it as finely as I can in the time I have. Speaking of, where are we at for time, guys?
3 minutes.
Okay.
Nine to go. 9
Nine
minutes
to
to
go,
go.
9 to go. Okay, cool. I can do
Make
this.
us mad.
Is Owen the math guy here? I love it. All right, so I've got that shallot diced up. Gonna check on my panko. It's looking golden brown. We are done. You got that color, that beautiful
Nice.
flavor
Nice.
is gonna be
that.
delish. So I'm gonna transfer that on into my, does it smell not
Yeah.
delicious in here? This is the thing. Panko, when it is not toasted, it's fine. But what's better than bread? Toast. Just give it a toast and it'll be perfect. Again, with that butter in there. Okay. Gonna pop that pan back on the heat, and I'm gonna go in with 2 more tablespoons of butter. That's
Yes.
gonna
Why
work.
not?
Right?
What's better with corn than butter?
Honestly,
Like
corn and
nothing,
butter.
right?
That's
Yeah.
like the dream. Honestly, if you just put butter and corn in a pan and gave it to me, I'd eat that.
Yeah.
That's all I need. But I'm gonna add that shallot right on in to start cooking down. And then I'm gonna work on my corn. So this recipe, if you wanna do a full recipe, I would do 4 ears of corn. I'm just gonna do 2 today, because I'm cheating a little bit. We're gonna get it done
That's
quicker.
okay.
All right, now typically, Andrea, I know you feel this way.
Yes, I
There's
do.
so many hacks for cutting corn.
Yeah.
You do this, you do it on the bunt pan.
Leave the bunt pan for the baking.
For the bacon.
Yeah.
We don't need it. Know what the hack is? Get that corn cob. Just put it like this.
Yes, Mary.
Don't do it up and down. It makes a mess.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take that corn right off the sides. And you get, I know. I am actually mortified at how long it took me to figure this out.
Life. What is it if you're not learning? Mary?
Exactly. I love learning. That's why I love cooking in the kitchen. You learn every single day. So I've got that corn off that first cob. That butter's melting up. Get it off the second. Now, if you've ever cut corn off of a cob before, you know that if you did it upright, you'd end up with corn all over your kitchen. And no, it doesn't take 12 minutes cleaning up individual kernels of corn. That's right. Yeah, not what I want to do, especially when Aaron's not here, who's usually the corn cleaner. He's good to go. All right, that corn is also going to go right on into that pan. That shallot's starting to cook down. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, on in.
Nice.
We've got that butter in there. Butter and corn, as Andrea said. What a delight.
Nothing better.
What's up?
Do you keep your corn bone?
I do. This is a corn bone. Don't get rid of it. Know what this is great for? Corn stock.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which honestly sounds like a music festival I'd go to.
Corn stock.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. All right, give that a little bit of a stir. I'm gonna season that up. Now, Alex, if you are using the corn bone, as we're gonna call it,
Yeah.
how would you make a corn stock?
So I would just essentially put that in water, a little bit of garlic,
Yeah.
your Parmesan cheese rind.
Yes.
Okay, and then just simmer
That's the
that, and
secret
then you
ingredient.
can, and then that broth can be used for like corn risotto, pasta, anything
Oh,
like that.
absolutely beautiful. I love that. Now, speaking of flavors that I love, we're going in with a little bit of garlic. I'm actually gonna thinly slice this garlic because I don't want it to be too punchy. I want it to be nice and soft. And garlic is funny. The bigger you cut it or leave it, the sweeter it cooks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more you like mince it, gets a little bit more punchy and kind of spicy garlic. This is perfect. How are we doing for time?
You've got like
lots.
Halfway. Okay, cool. Okay, oh boy, we gotta go. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at our pasta. Starting to cook up. We're looking okay. All right. Now, I want this corn just to cook down, just until it starts to pick up a little color. Andrea, I know we've had discussions about
can we
this.
stop cooking our corn for 12 minutes or like 20 minutes?
Yes.
Like literally 3 to 5 minutes is the sweet spot, you know? Yeah.
That's the thing. When you are cooking, even a whole cob of corn in water or steaming it,
Yeah.
you're just cooking the kernels. You're not trying to cook the corn bone.
No.
So just let it do its thing. It takes way less time than you think, and it's
Sweet and crispy and all the
Yes.
things that summer is. Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. Okay, while that corn is cooking down, I'm gonna grate up some cheese. I'm using Parmesan Reggiano, because the king of cheese.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm very excited about it. I need about half a cup, but Alex, I feel like you, okay.
Listen, Parmigiano Reggiano is like the king.
Yes.
Do not alert the Italian authorities.
No.
But I feel like Pecorino could be my favorite.
I agree.
Hey.
Yeah.
Because it's got that sheep
Don't tell
funkiness.
anyone.
Yes.
I think you just told everybody.
I know. I'm also gonna out myself. I'm also more of a fan of pecorino. I love that sheepy little
Salty.
funky saltiness.
Yeah.
It's super, super good, but you could use either for this. Really, really tasty. How are we doing for time? 7, guys.
You got
You
like
you're good.
like 5
Mary,
minutes.
you are good.
I could have a nap right now.
Dance in the kitchen.
Yes, I love this. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about? I got so much time.
I know.
Know what you could do in this delicious dish? If you wanted, you could throw in some summer tomatoes if you still have those hanging around. A little bit of white wine wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
All right.
Maybe a little more butter, which I'm probably gonna add just for fun, because, you know, why not? Corn and butter, we got it. All right, this is looking beautiful. We've got that shallot. It's a little bit golden brown. It's starting to cook down. The corn is sweet and beautiful. So I'm gonna take this and I actually wanna puree it. If you didn't wanna do that, add a little bit more butter, toss it in those noodles. It would be delish, but I'm going in to a food processor because I want a nice creaminess. Because for me, as the fall starts hitting, I want like creamy.
Stick to your ribs.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Your
exactly
corn
what I'm
ribs.
looking for.
Corn ribs.
All right, okay, perfect.
You're even using like a small appliance here in 12 minutes.
I
I'm
know.
very
Yeah.
impressed.
The cleanup might take longer than 12.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Somebody else is doing that.
All right, so I'm gonna go in with that cheese as well. I've got about half a cup or a hefty half cup of that Parmigiano Reggiano. And then I'm just gonna pop the lid on and I'm gonna give that a pulse to combine. I want this to get nice and creamy. Now, as this goes, you're gonna see it's getting a little thick, almost like a creamed corn. I do wanna thin that out with a little bit of that secret ingredient, which is pasta cooking liquid. There's so much starch and deliciousness in here. It's absolutely perfect. That just brings sauces and everything together. So let's add that on in for a creamy dreaminess.
I mean, honestly, just give me a spoon right now.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like
it. This is the best side dish ever what you're making right now.
Seriously,
Totally.
I'm essentially making creamed corn.
cheesy
Or
corn.
soup, yeah.
Corn soup. Cheesy corn. We can call it whatever we want.
6 recipes in 12 minutes.
Exactly. All right. That is looking beautiful. It's creamy. It's dreamy. Let's take a gander at it. Let's see what's going on in here.
Mary, you
Smells
have
really tasty too.
also 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes. Okay, I gotta go quick. Okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. Who wants a little taste? You get it.
I'll take
No,
it.
guys, like Andrea's reaching
I'll
for
take
it. Tell me if that's not delish. I know. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So good.
We are gonna go back into the pan with this corn, this beautiful corn situation. With that cheese in there, it's totally delicious.
Come on.
And then,
on.
the only trick of this recipe, the bane of my existence right now, is thermodynamics. We gotta see if this pasta is cooked through. Okay. Fingers crossed,
today.
everybody.
Yeah,
Let's
it
see
is
what's
today.
going on.
Oh, it looks good, Mary.
Okay,
look.
let's see. Let's see. Do the old testaroo.
Pretty good.
Needs 30 seconds.
You can do it.
close.
You have 2 minutes.
we got
so
2
you
minutes.
got 30 seconds.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a little cleanup. We got time. We got time.
Do a little cleanup. You can do this with short pasta too, I guess, if you want
You
to, right?
100% a penne. The only pasta that I say I don't like to cook is a bow tie pasta
Yes.
because I tried making it for my husband one time and it was terrible.
The
So,
middle is hard to cook.
It's
and
really
the
hard to
outside-
cook, 100%. Okay, this is looking beautiful. We're simmering down with that beautiful corn sauce. This, again, like you guys said, thin it out a little more, put a little buttermilk or cream in there for a soup.
Why
That would be amazing.
Crusty bread.
Crusty bread. Owen. Okay, who had their money on Owen being the chef today. That was amazing.
I'm just trying to fit it. I'm just trying to fit it.
You're nailing it, my man. All right, now just toss that pasta in that beautiful sauce. A little bit more of that pasta cooking liquid. How much money? Oh, we got a minute. 60 seconds. All right, give that a toss. Again, corn is nice and starchy, so this is gonna thicken up beautifully and look totally delish. You've got that creaminess, that wonderfulness. Let's bring this over and get it plated.
45 seconds.
Okay, we got this. Honestly, I'm laughing.
Ooh, that looks
Now, we
amazing.
could even maybe do a little chefy twist if we
Yes.
want. Ignore this one noodle. That is looking absolutely out of control.
Presentation.
Oh my gosh.
Presentation.
Usually when I do these timed ones, they are a bit of a sloppy mess, but today, we're okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is top this off with a little burrata, because we got the time, don't we? I have got a ball of beautiful burrata right here. Just place it on top and rip it open for that beautiful creaminess.
10 seconds, Mary.
10 seconds. We need the crunch. Little bit of crunch right over the top. Look at that. Absolutely. And we're done. 12 minutes in there. No time flat. Okay, real quick, everybody. We got to give this a taste. Everybody.
Snuck that burrata in at the end.
I know.
That is- ooh.
We're fancy here at the good stuff.
Come on.
Okay, let's give it a go. I'm going for this loose nude. I'm in noodle. Okay.
This might be a bit messy.
Oh, come on.
Not too shabby. That is amazing. Today we're making my pancetta parm corn chowder, and I'm very excited about it. Listen, I love a soup. I love a soup so much. It's so good. It's good any time of year. Whether it's corn season or not, you can make a delicious, bright, fresh, delicious corn chowder anytime. We'll talk about the corn a little bit later, but first we're gonna get started on kind of some flavor builders. Because anytime you're making soup that's like a relatively simple thing to make, I like starting with the base and giving a ton of flavor into that. So I've got a pan here over about medium-ish heat, and into there I'm gonna go in with 6 to 8 slices of thin cut pancetta. Now pancetta is kind of like, I know, right? It's just like fancy Italian bacon, which is very exciting. So yeah, nicely done. We've got that pancetta. I've diced it up. Now, if you wanted to, you could totally use bacon if that's what you're feeling. Bacon is smoky, pancetta's not, but this gives that really nice kind of rich, delicious flavor right into this pan. So I'm just gonna turn it down because this guy is hot. And I just want that to render out that fat. Now, while that starts rendering, I'm gonna chop up a little bit of some herbs. Now, you could do chives or softer basil in this, but you wouldn't add that until later. But I'm actually gonna go with like a woody herb today. So you could do anything from rosemary, but I'm going in with some sage. I love the flavor of sage and corn and kind of pancetta together. So I need about, I'd say, a tablespoon-ish of chopped sage. So I'm just picking those leaves off. Anytime you're using a woody herb, whether it's thyme, sage, rosemary, I'm trying to think of other ones, marjoram, but I don't know anybody who really uses marjoram that much. I don't even know where you get marjoram half the time. You actually don't want to use the stems. The stems are kind of woody. That's why they get the definition of woody herb. Whereas something like basil, you can eat that. Something like parsley, you can eat that too. They're softer on the stem. So we want to pick those off, the leaves off of that stem. Give it a little bit of a chop. And as is a very Mary thing to do, I said a tablespoon. This is probably like a tablespoon and a half, but with herbs, you do whatever you want. I'm not the boss of your herb usage, so you do you. All right, so I have got that nice and chopped up, and I'm gonna go into that pan with that pancetta as it starts to render and brown up. That's gonna give us a really nice flavor. As it starts to cook down, perfumes beautifully, and almost immediately, since pancetta is so much thinner than bacon, it cooks down really quickly. So basically you wanna cook that until it is nice and crispy and golden brown. Once it's there, you wanna remove that pancetta from the pan. So we've got a pot right here with some already going in it, and I'm just gonna scoop that pancetta out. You see there's those little bits of that sage in there. So I'm just gonna remove that. You can see there's a little bit of that pancetta fat that's rendered out, which is looking absolutely beautiful. Now, this is a great base. In this pot already, we've got so much flavor. There's the flavor of the sage, there's the flavor of that pancetta, we've got a little bit of fat. We wanna add a bit more deliciousness into there, so I'm going in with some butter, because why not? I know. Butter into bacon or pork fat, what a delight. This is what we do on the good stuff. We're having a good time. All right, so I'm going in with about a tablespoon of butter. So just grab that and pop that right on into that pot and just let that melt down. That's gonna bring all of those flavors together and give us something that we're gonna start building that delicious kind of thick, chowdery texture off of. But we're gonna add in some aromatics now. So the first thing I need is 1 red onion that I've finely minced up. You can chop it as big as you'd like if you're feeling a little bit lazy, because we are gonna blitz this soup, but the smaller it is, the quicker it cooks. So, you know, you pay for it somewhere. Longer chopping, quicker cooking, shorter chopping, longer cooking, you know? So I'm gonna go right on into that pot with that beautiful onion. And immediately I'm gonna hit that with some salt and a little bit of pepper. The salt's gonna remove some of that moisture from that onion. It kind of pulls the moisture out, helping it to cook down, again, quicker, which is always a good thing in my house. Despite the fact that I love cooking, or in spite of the fact, rather, that I love cooking, I don't wanna spend all day doing it. I still wanna, sit on the couch, hang out, do my thing. So doing something that makes things quicker, like adding that salt, always a good thing. So give that a good mix together, and you'd wanna cook that onion down for about, I'd say, 3 to 4 minutes, just until it's a little bit translucent and softened. So while that's doing its thing, we're gonna go chat corn. Now, if it is peak summer, it's August, it's beautiful, oh my gosh, what a delight. Corn cobs everywhere, it's sweet, it's fresh. Obviously use those corn cobs. You'd wanna remove the corn off of about 6 cobs for this soup. That would be perfect. But if you ever have a cob of corn in the off season, yeah, that's what it's called. It tastes like starch, like it's too starchy. It almost tastes bready, and we don't necessarily want that. So honestly, off-season corn, the freshest for me, I really like canned corn. Yes, okay, I thought I was gonna get guff for this, I'm not gonna lie. Now, if you're not a canned corn person, you can feel free to use frozen corn. Basically, you want anywhere from 4 or 5-ish cups, but I'd use about 3 cans of corn. We got a big one and a little one, so that's gonna equal about 3. And I'm gonna go into the pot with these cans of corn. I drained them. You can rinse them if you're a little bit worried about salt. I'm not too worried, so I'm just gonna go right on in. The thing about canned corn that's great is it's sweet. Sometimes I find frozen corn tastes a little bit watery, and I don't necessarily want that in my soup. I want that punchy flavor. And fun fact, when I was on MasterChef Canada, my dessert that I made, I actually used canned corn in it to make a corn ice cream, and it won. So jokes on those judges, I made them eat canned corn, which is always a delight. All right, give that a good mix together, and you'd want to saute down that corn for about, I'd say, 2 to 3 minutes, just for a little bit of color. If you were using frozen or fresh, you'd go closer to the 3-minute mark. Since I'm using canned, you can go closer to the 2-minute because it's already cooked. So you're just looking for a little bit of color here. So I'm gonna crank the heat on that a little bit. And then to thicken this up and make it into that chowder texture, yes, corn has starch in it, but we wanna add a little bit more. So I'm going in with a tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Remember that tablespoon of butter we added in earlier? The butter and flour together are gonna make what we call a roux. And the roux is gonna thicken this soup up and make it nice and creamy, which is a delight. So just add that in, give it a good stir, and you just wanna toast that flour off for about 30 seconds, maybe a minute, just let it do its thing. So while that's starting to toast, we're gonna talk cheese, because I said this is a pancetta Parm corn chowder. I know. Excellent audience. Anytime we got a bunch of cheeseheads in the audience, I'm always a fan. Now, I have got a wedge of Parm here. Now, earlier in the week, we used ground Parmesan for a recipe. We made that eggplant Parm, which was absolutely delicious. If you buy the wedge of Parm, the way you grind it is either chuck your chunk of Parm into your food processor, or you know that annoying side of the box grater that hurts to hold? The one that sticks out and you're like, what is this for? Grinding your Parmesan cheese. So if you run the brick over that, it grinds up as opposed to grates, which is perfect. But we're not talking about the cheese right now, we're talking about the rind. So I wanna use this rind. I love buying cheese with that rind still attached, because what I do, there's tons of flavor in there, is just cut that rind right off the cheese. And if you have this left over, pop it in your freezer and save it. But I'm gonna use it right now to pop into this soup. This is gonna give so much cheesy flavor, really good kind of umami into there. Just chuck it in the pot. It's not gonna melt and get ooey. It just gives so much flavor. You do this in a pot of tomato sauce, best tomato sauce you've ever made. Very, very good. So give that a good mix. We're getting that nice flour all toasted. So now I'm gonna go in with my broth. I've got about 6 cups of vegetable broth here. You could also do chicken broth. I usually do a lower sodium one because they taste the same and then I can control the salt. But you just wanna pour that right on in, just to cover that corn, a little bit extra too. to make a beautiful kind of corn soup essentially right now. I wanna bring that up to a simmer, turn the heat down to medium-low, and let that go for about 15 to 20 minutes. While this does its thing, we gotta take a quick break, but when we come back, I'm gonna finish this up, and it's gonna be delicious. It is day 4 of our meal plan week, and I'm feeling really, really good about it. We're making my pancetta parm corn chowder, and it is just hanging out in this pot, doing its thing, just simmering away for about 15 to 20 minutes. That needs a little bit more time. But my favorite thing about meal planning is that you can actually cut down on waste. I know that sounds kind of strange, but like you figure out what you're actually gonna buy, then you actually use the stuff you buy. Revolutionary, right? You know, you go to the grocery store and you buy stuff and you're like, why did I buy that again? I don't understand. When you have a plan in place, which obviously doesn't always work out, but when you have this plan, it's gonna be absolutely perfect. So my favorite thing though is you get to use leftovers from previously in the week that we've made earlier. So back on Tuesday, I made that cheddar jalapeno soda bread that is out of control. And if you ask me what goes better with soup than bread, I don't think there's anything better. So we've got some of that right here, looking absolutely beautiful. It's a stone cold stunner, I'm not gonna lie. The crew, very, very big fan of this that day. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jazz this up a little bit to serve next to this beautiful corn chowder. Yes, there's Parmesan in this. Yes, there's cheddar in this. We're making it work. We're putting them together, and it's gonna be a delight. All right. Now, I don't just wanna serve this soda bread as is. I wanna give it a little bit of like a frico crunch. And frico is just a fancy word for crispy cheese, which is very exciting. So I've got a pan here, a non-stick skillet, just over about medium-high heat. So I'm gonna add some grated cheddar cheese right into the pan. This is almost like an upside-down, reverse kind of inside-out grilled cheese situation. So just scatter the cheese onto the bottom of the pan, and almost immediately it starts to melt down. I'm gonna kind of add it in sort of in the shape of one of my pieces, maybe a little bit bigger for a little bit of crunch. I do love a crunch. Then grab one of your pieces of bread and just pop it right on top. See, you're picking up what I'm putting down. Get ready. We are gonna let that melt. We are gonna let that do its thing. We're gonna let it crisp up. The cheese is gonna get, at the very least, ooey and gooey. At the very best, crispy, crunchy, and ooey gooey. So that's what we're hoping for. You can see the cheese melting. Since cheddar cheese has a good amount of oil content and moisture in it, the fat almost splits out and it kind of then fries itself, kind of sort of like bacon or pancetta. So we're gonna let that do its thing, and I'm gonna finish up this soup. So this has been simmering away. You see that beautiful sage in there. It looks absolutely beautiful. But now I gotta fish out that chunk of Parmesan rind, because we want this to be nice and creamy, and that's never, ever going to blitz up. So give a little hunt. This is the weird thing. The Parmesan gets really soft. You gotta find it first. Really, really soft and kind of like floppy. Not cute. But do you know what this is? The world's best chef snack. You pick that up, once it's cooled a little bit, eat all this cheese off of there. Don't let anyone see you, because it looks like you're eating a cob of corn, but it's cheese and it's so good. Oh, we broke. Okay, cool. So you wanna just set that aside, save it for you later. I'm not gonna judge, because that's what I'm gonna do later. But now we wanna add in something creamy, because the thing about a chowder is it usually has some sort of milky or creaminess in it. So I've got about a cup of milk. You could also use cream here. I'm just gonna add that on into the soup, just to give it that richness that we like. And then I wanna blitz this up. So I've got an immersion blender. If you don't have one of these, honestly, I love it more than a regular blender. It's easier to clean. If you just have a regular blender though, feel free to use that. This is where you stand well back, especially if you're wearing a fancy matching outfit, and you give it a good blitz. Now you wanna blitz this until it is as smooth or as chunky as you'd like. Okay, while I'm doing this, can you please take a look at this amazing cheese that's happening in this pan? Because this little bit, the fat is splitting. So if you look right on this side, you see the oil from the cheese coming out and splitting and frying the cheese. I know. I'm very excited about it. All right, this chowder looks good to me. I like it a little bit chunky, a little bit delish. So we're just gonna take that blender out, give it a little bit of a final season, a little bit of salt, maybe a little bit of pepper. I do like pepper on my corn. So we just add that right on in, give that a stir, and that looks amazing. See that corn? Now, if you were doing this with summer fresh corn too, put those cobs in there. All right, I'm gonna serve that up. That toast is still toasting. I'm feeling good. I've got my bowl, so I'm just gonna ladle that on in. You wanna keep that chowder warm over about low heat before you serve it, but just Beautiful. If you want it a little bit thicker, feel free to use less of that broth, a little bit less milk, maybe a bit more corn. Honestly, any sort of pureed soup, it's more of a vibe of a recipe than a pure recipe. Now, when I serve this, I can't say no to a little extra creaminess, so I always add a little dollop of sour cream right onto the center, kind of floating island style. Obviously, we're gonna go on with a bit more parm just for fun. And then we've got that amazing pancetta with that crispy sage. Like, so good. But my personal opinion, the best part is the leftovers, and you rarely get to say that. So again, we've got that crunchy cheese happening. Let's see how we're doing. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, let's see. Get it a little unstuck from the bottom there. Oh. Okay, now we're gonna do something wild. I'm gonna bring the pan on over here, and we're gonna attempt to lift all this cheese kind of up and over onto that bread to give you that crunchy, ooey gooey deliciousness. Flip her over. Look at that crunch. Oh yeah. That hunk of bread right next to that bowl of soup. No one is complaining when you serve them leftovers that look like that. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna give this a little bit of a taste because I can't say no. It freshens up the bread too. It's stringy, it's crispy. You get this crunchy cheese thing. Oh my gosh, wait, I gotta get the crunch. Okay, Mary's talking to herself now because I'm too excited. Okay, I'm gonna give a little taste of this soup, a little taste of this bread. Let's give it a go. It's like summer freshness, but no matter the time of year. And then this bread, no one's turning their nose up at that. Guys, soup and bread, get it in your life. I hope you try this tonight and that you have some of that bread left over, because what a stone cold stunner.
Yeah, so we're gonna do one of my faves. It's a Huevos Rancheros.
Okay.
So really simple. Okay. So we're gonna start here with some corn tortillas. And for me, corn tortillas are key for this.
Yes.
You know, Craig, you said you love to make your own homemade. You make
Do you make homemade corn tortillas?
No.
Flour. I like the flour.
So
Me too.
Yeah.
if you're gonna do them homemade, you know what, have at it.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah.
delicious. But I think, you know, for Huevos Rancheros, corn is where it's at.
Okay.
We're just gonna put a little bit of oil on these guys and spread it out. Or I mean, you can use the back of a spoon.
No, I got a little-
Is there? Oh, you got one.
I got a
Sorry,
little
Mary.
brush.
Sorry, Mary.
We are well equipped
Yeah.
here in this kitchen.
Just a little bit of oil on there. And then we're gonna pop those into the oven at about 400 or 375 degrees, just until they're warm and crispy and they get some great texture on them, because they're gonna be the base for our eggs.
Oh, I like that.
Right? Yeah. So speaking of eggs,
Yes.
we're gonna make some delicious eggs for this, of course. You can't have Huevos Rancheros without the huevos.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Also, we're cooking eggs in real time. Always a risky move,
I know.
but I'm excited about it.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
guys, buckle up. All right, so we've got some a little bit of neutral vegetable oil in here. You could use butter, but I feel like a neutral vegetable oil is where it's at for Huevos Rancheros. You're
Yeah.
not necessarily gonna use butter for
I
that.
find you get a really nice crisp on the egg as well.
Oh yeah,
It's
those
really-
crispy edges are always so nice.
That's what we love.
We're gonna pop a few in there, as many as you're serving. I say about 2 per person is a good way to go, because you're gonna have that tortilla, which has some substance. We're gonna also go on with some delicious sauce and a little bit of a corn salsa afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, I'm always down for like a double sauce situation, so I'm feeling very pumped about this.
Yeah, lots of different flavor and lots of different texture here, right? All right, so these are going in. I think those look good. Shall we season them just a
Yeah, maybe
bit?
pop it. I'm gonna get a. Do we want to do like a? Are we doing a flippy? What are we doing?
No, let's leave it sunny side up, but let's put a lid on it so that
Okay.
it cooks. The yolk sort of cooks and the top of the whites start to solidify. Put Mary Berg to work here, folks. right?
a pizza pan lid.
There
you go.
Yeah. It's a great way to do it if you don't want to flip them over. They kind of steam from the top, and
Yeah.
they kind of like partially poach, partially fry.
And then you don't have that like that little like not cooked white
Right.
part. Not loving that. Okay.
No, I'm not a fan of that.
No.
Okay, so the key to this is a salsa roja, which really just means a red sauce. And we're gonna start in our pan. Now, typically, the traditional way that it's done is that you get whole veg and you roast them over coals,
Yeah.
or you roast them in the oven until they get that black exterior, which adds so much flavor. But we're just gonna do this sort of the easy route.
Okay.
And we're gonna start with a white onion, chopped roughly.
Nice. I like a rough chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it easy. So if you don't have any knife skills, you can do this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go in with 4 whole jalapenos.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, now we have, jalapenos I find aren't that spicy these days.
No, sometimes every once in a while. No, Craig, I know you have a trick when it comes to hot peppers in general. You make all your chefs taste a bit of it?
I do.
Yeah.
Just the end.
Yeah.
The end has a different flavor than the rest of the pepper as well, too.
And also, sometimes you get a pepper not that hot. Sometimes they're smoking hot. So it's a good way to
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can take some of the pith and some of the seeds out there that kind of tamps that heat down.
Okay.
We're going to go in with whole garlic here. So we don't want our garlic to burn, so we're going to go in whole. So it chars on the outside and gets nice and sweet on the interior.
That's the thing. The bigger the garlic is cut, somehow the sweeter it stays.
Yeah. Now this is going to go for a little bit of time because, like I said, you do want to get that char on the outside. It really adds to that depth of flavor that we're going for here. I'm going to give you a shortcut though because we are going to add some tomatoes because it's a red sauce. You have to have some tomatoes. These are fire roasted.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're in season in tomato season, you can also roast them here or sauté them in here and get that color. But this is a great shortcut. Right?
I like a shortcut.
Now you would obviously take these a little bit farther at home, but for the sake of time, we're just going to pop that whole can in there.
This is a very exciting sounding pot.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna add some Mexican oregano if you have it. It does have slightly different flavor. Or you could use just whatever kind of oregano you have hanging out, dried oregano.
Nice.
Okay, jalapenos, or not jalapenos, chipotles, which are essentially smoked dried jalapenos. They do have more heat. And I don't know if it's because they've been sitting with their seeds inside the whole time. You can strip the seeds out of the interior, but it's a little bit work.
And why would you?
Yeah, why would you?
Vijaya and I are here. We like them spicy.
Yeah, nice and smoky, right? So this is going to add that real smoky element you want. That's going to cook down for about 15 minutes until all those veggies get nice and super tender.
Okay.
And you are gifted with this gorgeous, glorious looking sauce. I mean, that looks good just as it is.
It does.
Right?
I feel like you'd add some beans to that and kind of have like a little chili situation going on.
You
Yeah,
could.
right?
All right, now we're going to go in. We're going to turn off that heat. I feel like I need a bib for this, but we're going to, thank you, Mary. You read my mind.
I knew it was coming. We're just ghosting right now. Yeah.
This is also, you could put this in a blender on your countertop. You do have to you got to get everything down to the side because you want your immersion blender to be submerged.
We're living on the edge, Andrea Bucket.
Mary Berg here, she's got my back.
Hot tip.
And my front.
And your front. And we're angling it towards our good friend Connor. Connor's about to be covered in salsa. That's who's holding this camera right now.
All right, so we're almost there. You could leave this as chunky or you could go as smooth as you want. We're going to leave this sort of mid-range.
This looks so good.
Yeah. This is a salsa, guys.
Yeah.
If you were so inclined, this is hilarious.
This is really comfy. I feel very close to you right now, Andrea. Yeah.
If you were so inclined and you had some ancho chilies or guajillas at home, thank you.
There you go. Okay.
You could totally rehydrate them and put them in here as well. It would make for a great base.
Okay, cool.
All right,
I love that.
Should we just check a quick
Check
little
on the
peek?
eggs.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, those are nice. Those are nice.
Okay, next.
Yes.
We gotta get, corn.
Corn.
tortillas.
We gotta do corn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is another topper, really easy. I'm using frozen corn here, but you could use canned if you prefer.
Okay.
Right, well, it's up to you. Thanks, Mary. You
No
hear
worries.
that sputtering?
I'm on the eggs.
Next, we're gonna put in some chopped red onion, which gives that a little bit of bite, a little bit of heat. Some cilantro. And no, you can't leave it out this time. I'm not gonna be nice about
I
it.
know, right? If you don't like it, it's yeah.
Yeah. Queso fresco, which is great, or you could substitute feta cheese if you have to. Just something salty and a little bit chewy.
Nice. And are we using frozen corn here?
Frozen corn.
How do we feel? Frozen or canned? What are we?
Canned.
Canned all the way.
Canned corn.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I like fresh frozen.
Fresh frozen.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good thing. There's something, canned corn tastes unlike any corn you've ever had, except for canned corn.
What about canned peas?
Oh, no.
They're
Yeah.
gray.
Yeah, they are. They're
Yeah.
gray. They're gray peas.
There are canned green beans. Just stay away from
yeah,
them.
yeah.
All right, we put a little bit of lime juice in there. You could go in with a little bit of the zest, but sometimes I find it gets really aggressive, so we're just going to leave the zest out for
It's
this.
true. I love a zest, but I sometimes find lime zest gets a little bitter
Yeah.
if it's not treated right. So I feel like just juice in here is awesome.
All right, so we're going to toss that together. We're going to put a little bit more oil in there just to make everything sing together
That's
and join
beautiful.
in. Beautiful flavor harmony, like I
Beautiful
call it.
flavor harmony.
Right?
Oh, that was nice.
All right.
Yeah.
And a little bit more salt because this definitely needs a bit more salt.
Yeah.
All right, so then we're gonna plate it.
Okay,
We
I'm
need
gonna
our
go get those tortillas.
Yeah, I'm gonna just toss this together one last time until look how gorgeous that looks.
So nice.
Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I could just sit down and have a bowl of that. I'm not lying.
And we got a little bit of texture here. Okay, so how are we doing this?
All right, let's start with our tortillas on the bottom.
Okay, so a little bit of texture.
Yeah, texture. Then we're gonna go in with the salsa roja.
I like how he said that. Roja.
I know, so fancy.
Mexico is probably the place that I visited most and learned the most about cooking there. I've been probably a dozen times to different parts of the country, and I am obsessed with Mexican food.
I have never been to
Smells so
Mexico.
good.
This is looking so good. Okay. What are we going on
All right,
next?
let's go with an egg. And look, those eggs are perfect.
Honestly, nicely done, Andrea Bucket.
Right?
That is a good egg.
It was a joint effort.
Yeah, we
But see how when you put that lid on it, it kind of like steams the top. You don't have to flip it.
Yeah.
That looks
My
great.
favorite part is those little crispy brown edges.
Yes.
Lacy. Yeah.
So good. Okay, perfect.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna
that
do
looks
that one,
great.
yeah.
Then we're going to put a little bit of this
Oh my gosh.
gorgeousness.
Oh, I like this method.
I don't know what method it is. It's just called I'm hungry. Let's eat. All right, and then we're going to garnish with a couple of avocados.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, wherever you feel.
Everybody here is very into this recipe. A little bit of lime too.
lime.
I am obsessed. Andrea Bucket, this is an absolute winner. Getting you
Thank
real
you.
set up for your delicious weekend ahead. Every single year, I challenge myself to eat as much corn as possible because I love it so much, right?
Yeah.
So, Vijaya,
Yes.
you have got some corn recipes. What are we talking about?
Yes, I love corn because it's fresh, it's sweet, it can be creamy too. I love eating it raw as well as cooked.
Totally.
And we have 3 great recipes for you. And we're starting off with classic corn on the cob.
Okay, we love a corn on the cob.
Right? And
It's
there's-
so fun.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with classic steamed or grilled corn with like a little bit of butter, or even nothing on it because
Yeah.
it's just so good on its own.
Totally.
But we're gonna elevate our corn on the cob and we're gonna make Cacio a Pepe corn on the cob.
Okay, we're going a little Italian
A
with
little
this corn on the
Italian
cob.
here.
Okay.
So Cacio e pepe is that really popular Italian pasta dish. 4 ingredients: pasta, butter, black pepper, and pecorino romano.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we're gonna skip on the pasta, add in the corn, and it's gonna be really, really
We
tasty.
love this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have some corn on the cob here. We've removed the husks and silks, and we've just grilled it up lightly on an indoor and outdoor grill, or you can even do this on a gas stove.
Oh, okay,
I do
cool.
it all the time.
Yeah.
And it gives that little bit of char, gives you that little bit of smokiness that complements the sweetness. It's great.
Totally. It gives it a little bit of texture too.
Right.
Like not just the juicy pop, but a little bit of like,
love
ooh.
the char.
The char.
The char.
The char. We're going a little East Coast there. I love that. Yeah.
So for our black peppercorns, I have them in a little saucepan here heating up. I just want to warm them through that because that's going to amplify the smokiness of the black pepper.
It's true.
And bring up that heat.
Yeah.
Like up a notch,
Yes.
which is great. Okay.
It gives the pepper more flavor. It's just, again, it's like, it's making those oils wake up and it's like, okay, here we go, here we go.
So into a little mortar and pestle, and then let's see how long this is gonna take me.
This is
Probably gonna be here forever.
Anytime I mortar and pestle anything,
Yeah.
it's like fireworks. It
Yeah,
just
and they're
flies all
flying.
over the
We have a
kitchen.
strong, capable gentleman. Hey, I work out.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
work out, Lynn. Come on. All right, so thankfully we have a swap, guys.
But you smell the pepper.
Do you smell the pepper?
Yes.
It's so lovely, right? You can do that with any spice.
Stunning.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of butter, and this is what I do at home, okay? I have my brick of butter in the fridge, and to my husband's chagrin, I take the entire brick, not even thinking about whether he's gonna have toast the next morning, and I slather my corn this way.
I like this energy because you get more on. I sometimes do this one. You know this one?
Yeah.
And then you have the like ridge in the middle. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, she ate corn last night.
Right?
Okay, cool. Yes.
Yeah. So that's all you're gonna do.
I love
nice
this.
and easy.
Also, the
okay?
amount of butter we just put on there is a dream.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You got it. You gotta go all out,
Yeah.
right? And then I'm gonna season it up with just a touch of kosher salt.
Okay.
We have some cheese going on after, but just that little bit of kosher salt is gonna amplify the flavor.
Okay.
Give sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was double salting.
I was going to say salting at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, what a delay.
Very romantic.
It's always nice.
And then we're gonna go in with that black pepper. So nice and generous with the black pepper. There you go. all over.
See, you need the butter because it makes everything stick.
Stick.
Right.
If you don't do that, then
It's
you do the bite and you
practical.
dip it in the
Yeah.
salt. That's what I do.
And then we have our pecorino romano. So pecorino romano is this aged sheep's cheese. It's lovely, it's nutty, it's kind of funky
Yeah.
and sheepy for lack of a better word, but it's really, really tasty. And so you're gonna sprinkle that on nice and
my
generous.
Oh, come on. Wait, more, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna rotate, we're gonna rotate.
Oh
You wanna get
my
every single
gosh.
side.
Oh my
okay?
gosh.
And then this is gonna be plated up
Okay.
on a nice blue plate because
Oh,
the blue with the yellow is just really nice,
It's
right?
a dream. And then can we do one of these too?
A dusty?
A dusty?
Oh, yeah.
Vijaya.
Right?
This looks so good.
And it takes
Mouth
next
is
to no
watering.
time.
And can I
Yeah,
take
please,
Okay, I'm
please.
going to get lipstick everywhere, but
Do-
we're
do
doing
this.
it. Okay, done.
She's so committed. Is that nice?
That is my first corn on the cob of the season.
Ooh.
The worst part of having braces. Thank you, Mom, for the teeth. It's very nice, but I couldn't eat corn on the cob. It was the worst.
Right?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
What are we moving on to?
Next, we're moving on to a little corn gazpacho. It's like eating a liquid salad. A great way of getting those veggies in. And we're using raw corn for this, which I think is so great. I think it's sort of underrated, raw corn. I
Yeah.
love just slicing it off the cob and eating it because it's juicy, it's sweet, it's creamy, it's so tasty.
Especially the fresher it is, the sweeter it is.
Exactly,
for sure.
exactly. So a bunch of corn going into this blender. Oh, I have to share this tip with you. Oh my God, I completely forgot about my tip. Okay, so
Well, you did that, I'll do
typically when people cut corn off the cob, they're like this. They put it on a bundt pan and hope that the bundt pan catches all
There
the
were
kernels.
1,000 hacks on the internet. Super danger.
Yeah, and what you're gonna do instead is you're just gonna slice it off, and do you see how none of the
Easy.
kernels fly off?
Listen, Vijaya, it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure this out. Because I would always do it where the corn would be everywhere all over my kitchen. And then I was like, wait, if I just put it horizontally, it's not gonna make a mess.
Exactly, exactly. So this is a nice, easy way to do it, and then
Totally.
you have a little snack afterwards. Okay, so we want to make this corn gazpacho as yellow as possible. Okay, so I'm going in with a yellow pepper, a bunch of yellow tomatoes.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, let's see if all of them are gonna fit. Maybe not.
We'll see.
And the thing is if you're at home and you don't have yellow peppers or yellow tomatoes and you just have red, just go for it.
go for
It's not
it.
gonna be beautiful and yellow, but it's gonna be tasty.
orange.
That's
Yeah, that's how colors
yeah,
work.
and that's the most important thing. Jalapeno for heat. A little bit of shallot for that oniony goodness.
Nice.
Okay. A touch of garlic.
Oh, beautiful. And I love the fact that it's got that raw garlic in it, but then with gazpacho, you put oil and vinegar in to kind of
Yes.
tone everything down and bring it together.
Exactly. It mellows everything out. A little bit of olive oil. And we're going in with the sherry vinegar again, you guys. Very classic.
Sherry vinegar.
Double sherry.
We're doing it.
Nice pinch of salt. And like, I like gazpacho because it sounds fancy.
Yeah.
Kind of is fancy, but it's so easy because you just chuck everything into a blender, whiz it up.
I was going to say.
and you're good to go.
Do you know
okay?
what kind of is? It's kind of just like a vegetable smoothie.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get that all, look at that coming together in no time flat.
Oh.
So you get that whizzed up.
Completely smooth. You're gonna pop it into the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours. The longer it sits, the more those flavors have a chance to blend with one another. And then we're gonna garnish, okay? So
You
we've
know,
all
I got a
been-
great tip. If you don't have 2 hours, you Ziploc a little bag of ice, toss that right into the center,
like
and
in
then
the
do
soup?
an ice bath underneath. It'll chill down for you really quickly.
Oh, I love that.
That's a really good tip.
Oh my God, yeah, okay.
Okay, a little bit of olive oil, very chefy.
Very chefy, very
you know?
nice. Anytime you want to feel fancy, a little drizzle of olive oil.
Yeah.
Always does it.
A few cherry tomatoes for that pop of acidity and fruitiness.
Beautiful.
Because cherries or tomatoes are fruit. Did I say cherries?
Cherry tomato.
Cherry tomatoes.
There you go.
Or
cherries, why
not? And then a few niblets of corn.
Oh my gosh, Vijaya, this is stunning.
It is gorgeous.
Okay, I am not going to lie. Do you know what I am tempted to put on top of this too? If I was
What?
doing this at home, and I feel like you would be
gosh.
down for this. Popcorn.
Ooh,
Some corn.
a
Put some
little
popcorn on that.
crouton.
A little crouton of popcorn.
Right.
Okay, let's give it a taste. Oh my gosh, Vijaya. That is so good. That is stunning. Absolutely delicious. Tastes like summer in a bowl. I am kicking things off in the kitchen today with a super easy one skillet recipe. It's perfect for the summer. It is my skillet creamed corn chicken. How does that sound? Now, the little intro to the show told you there's also going to be feta cheese in this, which is always a delicious thing. Fun fact, anytime I'm making a creamed corn and it's in the summertime, feta goes in there because it makes it taste brighter and a little bit more, you know, summery. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, though, is get to work on our chicken. This is one of those recipes where we just use one pan, get it all done, you serve it in that pan, so less dishes, which is a dream. So good. So over here, I have got 8 chicken thighs. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken thighs today. Super easy, usually pretty economical. If you wanted to do this with chicken breasts, you could totally do that. I'd probably cut them in half though, make them a little bit smaller, easier to manage. Then you get more surface area for more golden brown. But we want to season these up a little bit. So the first thing I need to do is make a bit of a seasoning blend. So for this, I'm going in with 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder. That's going to give a little bit of smokiness into this blend. Really tasty, a little bit of heat, but not too much, don't worry. We're not gonna knock your socks off today. We're going kind of for like, you know, like blackened chicken, like kind of Cajun style. That's kind of what I'm going for. Then I'm gonna go in with about 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika for, again, a little bit of that smoky flavor. If you wanted to, you could totally do these chicken thighs on the barbecue. But again, we're doing a 1-pan meal. Everything's gonna go in there. So absolutely beautiful. But if you're looking for a grilled chicken recipe, May I introduce you to the first half of this one? Fantastic. Then I'm gonna go in with a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne for a little bit more heat. If you don't like heat, feel free to leave it out, but I like heat as well, so we're going spicy. Then a little bit of cumin. Cumin is great because it's really smoky, but it also has like a little bit of a lemony flavor. Really, really tasty. So in there. Give that a little bit of a mix just to combine. And I'm just gonna add this seasoning blend onto those chicken thighs. Now, when you buy chicken thighs, typically they come kind of rolled up, kinda. Unroll them so you get more surface area. Add that right on top. Now, if you wanted to, you could flip-flop this around just to get it nice and coated and even. But you're looking for a nice coating on there, because again, we kind of want this to blacken, almost like blackened catfish and things like that. All right, season that with some salt, a little bit of pepper as well. Perfect. Now we're gonna head on over to our pan over here. Pay no attention to the pan that is smoking. We're gonna use that one later. First thing we're gonna do is go into this pan here. We've got this on about medium-high heat. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of oil just onto the bottom, and I'm gonna cook those chicken thighs, and I wanna cook them until they're all the way cooked through. Typically, I just sear them, give them a bit of a sear, and then let them go in the oven. But for these ones, I wanna cook them all the way through. Looking for that little bit of a sizzle here. This should take, I would say, anywhere from about 6 to 8 minutes per side. Chicken thighs, though, pretty difficult to overcook. So even if technically the temperature's over, they're still gonna be juicy. It's one of my favorite things about them. So if you're someone who's always cooking dry chicken, switch to chicken thighs, it'll never be dry again. Perfect. So add that in. Try not to overlap them. If you're using a smaller pan, you could definitely do this in a couple batches. Looking delicious. So I'm gonna let that go for, again, about 6 to 8 minutes per side until cooked through. Then I'm gonna take those chicken thighs out and set them aside to rest. I've got a pan here that's looking pretty dark, but that's okay. That's gonna come together into a sauce. So I'm gonna make that sauce in that pan. First thing, just to cool that pan down, I'm gonna add in some of my shallot and my corn. I'm gonna chop some up after, though. So I've got a pan here. I've got all those chicken juices, all that rendered out schmaltz in there. There's good amount of that spice, getting a little bit golden, but that's totally fine. It's gonna come together. I'm gonna go into there with about 2 tablespoons of butter. If you wanted to, you could use more oil, but we're adding corn, so why not add butter, right? The butter's gonna start to kind of lift all of the seasoning off the bottom of that pan. If it gets a little bit too charred, honestly, that's gonna give it more of that grilled flavor, which I love. So into there, I'm gonna go in with 1 shallot, and I've got about 5 ears of corn here. I wanna use about 5 cups of corn though. So I'm gonna take the kernels off of another ear of corn and add in some more shallot. So I'm going with 2 shallots essentially. I know I'm telling you this in a weird way, but you just need 2 shallots. If you want to as well, you could also do an onion. A red onion here would be beautiful. Even just like a yellow onion would be really, really nice. I would use just 1 onion though, because onions tend to be a lot bigger than shallots. 1 shallot though, or 2 shallots rather, gives you a really nice, almost like a garlicky, oniony flavor. It's a little bit softer than an onion. Goes really, really nicely with corn. Also really delicious if you pickle them. Pop a little bit of vinegar on there, a little salt and a little bit of sugar. Absolute dream. So in goes that other shallot. Then cob of corn. If you are not in an area where corn is on the cob and looking delicious yet, you could totally use frozen corn in this. I would use about 5 cups of frozen corn kernels. If you can find nice looking on the cob corn though, feel free to do that. Really sweet, really tasty. Now I know we've seen all of the tricks, right? To get the kernels off this. There's like the bunt pan, there's the bowl in a bowl. All of that seems a little crazy. I used to do the running the knife down this way. Classic. I know Ina Garten always puts a little towel underneath to catch everything. Then know what I thought of? Put the corn like this. Way less to fall, and then you just kind of cut that corn right off. It's so much simpler. You don't end up with all that corn flying all over your kitchen. Super easy. Love it. All right. Also, this is very good juicy corn. I got sprayed with some corn juice, so there you go. Into the pan we go. Gonna season that up with some salt, little bit of pepper as well. And this is gonna start to pick up all of the spices from the bottom of that pan. So give that a stir. It's gonna start to lift it up. That butter's helped to get that. And it's gonna kind of almost deglaze. Because there's that liquid in the corn, there's liquid in that shallot. It's gonna lift up all those spices and get really nice and toasty. So you wanna cook that corn and shallot down for, I would say, about 2 to 3 minutes, just until it's a little bit softened. While that's doing its thing, I'm gonna grate up some garlic. So I have got a couple of garlic cloves here. If you want, you could grate it. You could also just do a smash and chop. I'm gonna do a bit of a smash and chop. Typically, I don't love doing a smash and chop, but when I'm waiting for corn to cook, what better time, you know? It's also nice, when you smash the garlic, it does half the chopping for you, so it's a dream. All right, so we're gonna pretend that corn has been going for about that 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm gonna go in with my garlic. Now, I only wanna cook the garlic for about 30 seconds. That's gonna give it a little bit of color, but it's not gonna make it go bitter. Sometimes when you cook garlic a little bit too much, it goes bitter. So give that a stir in. And now we're gonna go in with a little bit of flour. That's gonna help thicken this up. Yes, there's corn in here, so there is starch in that corn, so that'll help thicken up the sauce, but we're gonna go in with some flour just to help it out. So just about a tablespoon of flour scattered right on top. Essentially what this is doing is it's gonna make almost a roux to thicken the sauce and give this a really nice creamed corn texture. So give that a stir to combine. You can see the bottom of that pan is getting nice and cleaned up, looking stunning. Toast that flour for, I would say, about a minute. That's gonna cook off that raw flour flavor and help everything thicken up. So for our beautiful sauce, it is creamed corn. So we're using cream. I feel good about it. If you want, you can use coffee cream, you could use whipping cream if you're being extra fancy. Any sort of cream you got hanging around would be absolutely beautiful. So about 3/4 of a cup of cream is gonna go right into that pan. And then to cut through this, we're gonna go in with some milk as well. That milk is gonna just make this a little bit less rich, but it's still gonna be beautiful. If this was the fall, I would do 100% whipping cream because that's what's happening in the fall. In we go with a little bit of milk, about half a cup of milk as well, but you see it's immediately starting to thicken up. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, season that up. This is a little bit funny, but because corn isn't quite in season yet, I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. You're not gonna taste the sweetness in that like sugary way, but it's gonna come together beautifully. Give that a stir. That is looking creamy and wonderful. Now I promised you feta cheese, so we're gonna go in with about a half a cup of feta cheese. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I'm gonna chop up some chives. Now, I have chives growing like crazy in my yard right now. If you don't have chives, you could do this with green onions. I'm going in with about a 1/4 cup of chives. A good amount to give that really nice green flavor. You wanna stir that in right at the tail end. Pop that on in. Give that a stir, gives it that brightness. Like, look at how creamy that looks. Stunning. All right. Last but not least, we've got our chicken that we cooked off earlier. It's been resting under some foil. I'm just gonna nestle that chicken right back in to that pan. If you wanted to do this chicken on the barbecue, you totally could. If you got one of those barbecues with the little burner on the side, that would be an absolute dream. You don't have to put it back in the pan, but this is one pan summertime cooking at its finest, looking beautiful. Now, last but not least, we wanna serve this up. Yeah, I can do it. Let's do it. Pop her over here. More cheese, obviously, right on top. A little bit more of that green, and you are in for an absolute treat. Listen, I'm gonna take a bite. I have to go and wash my glasses because I have corn juice on them. I was at the farmer's market over the weekend, and I got so excited because I saw the first ears of corn cropping up. Guys, it's finally corn season. I'm so excited. Is anybody with me? Okay. Now, in order to celebrate probably my favorite food season, corn season, I'm gonna kick things off with corn 3 delicious ways. We're gonna do a snack, a side, and a main. How does that sound? Yeah, I'm excited about it. Okay, we're gonna start off with the main. We're gonna make a creamy corn pasta. How does that sound? Yeah. It's gonna be really tasty. There's no actual cream in this. We're actually gonna use corn to give it a creaminess. But the first thing we need to do is get to work on that corn. So I've got a pan here. Into there, I've just turned the heat on to medium-high. You want it good and hot. Mine's gonna take a little bit to heat up, but I'll show you what I'm gonna do just to bring this together. First thing I'm gonna do is go in with corn's best friend, and that is butter, my friends. 3 tablespoons of butter. If you wanted to, you could do this with oil, but why would you do that? You're using corn. Corn wants butter. So I've added it into my pan. Once that comes up to heat, that will start to melt out a little bit. Once that's melted in, I'm gonna go in with some shallot. I've got one little shallot here that I've just diced up. If you don't have a shallot, you could use a red onion here, you could use a white onion, you could even use green onions if you wanted this to come together really quickly. So I'm gonna go in with those shallots, season that up with some salt, a little bit of pepper. This stove is not wanting to get hot. So everybody, we're gonna play a fun imagination game and pretend it's sizzling. Yeah. All right, perfect. Once that shallot cooks down for, I would say, about 2 minutes, that's when you're gonna add in your corn. Now, we're going big on this one. I've got 6 ears of corn that I've taken the kernels off. Now, if you've seen the show before, you know I've done many tricks for taking corn off the cob, but now I just lay it on its side. Because I used to put it on its end and cut it down this way. Ina Garten was always like, put a clean dish towel underneath it. Which is great, but that dish towel is now no longer clean. If you just put the corn this way and cut the kernels off, it's gonna be absolutely beautiful and not bounce all over your kitchen. So in goes those 6 ears of corn. Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful. I would season this up again with a little bit of salt and pepper because you want to season every single layer just to make sure the flavors are coming together. And I want to cook that corn down for about 5 minutes. Once that cooks down for 5 minutes, it's going to get just a little bit golden brown and tender. At that point, I'm going to go in with my garlic. So basically, we're just layering in flavors. Things that take longer go in first, like that shallot, then the corn, then we go in with the garlic, which takes the least amount of time. Now, for the garlic, for me, I only really cook it for about 30 seconds to a minute because that's going to pull back on that punchy garlic flavor, but not burn it. If you burn your garlic, it's a little bit hard to come back from because burnt garlic, not a great taste. Burnt corn, kind of delicious. Burnt shallot, also kind of fancy seeming. So, you know? All right, then let that do its thing, give that a stir. Once that's done, you want to set half of that aside into your blender. Leave the rest in the pan because we're actually going to build the pasta and the sauce in the pan. So I've got my corn here that's been already cooked with that shallot, with that butter and that garlic. Half of it is in my blender. Now, before I got to work on that, I cooked off some pasta. Now I use 350 grams of shell pasta. You can do any shape you want. I know a lot of people like bow tie. I have a vendetta against bow tie. It knows what it did. I don't like it. But you want to save some of that pasta cooking liquid because that's almost like food Velcro. It's watery, but there's a lot of starch in there and there's starch in the corn, so it's going to bring everything together. So I'm going to go in with about a cup-ish of that beautiful cooking liquid, and we're going to blitz this up into a smoothish puree. Now it's going to look a little bit watery at this point, but it will start to thicken up as you heat it. Because the corn has starch in it, and because obviously that pasta cooking liquid has starch in it, it will tighten up as it does its thing. So I'm just gonna do a little DJ disco mix. Take that lid off. We've got our pasta scooped into our corn in here. Looking beautiful. I'm gonna go on with that beautiful creamy corn sauce. I did forget one ingredient, but that's okay. We're gonna add it in now. How could I ever forget? My other true love, cheese. We're gonna go in with about half a cup of grated Parmigiano Reggiano. I've also got some chives here. If you wanted to, though, you could do basil, you could do parsley, you could do tarragon. That would be really beautiful. Just a few tablespoons of those. I like a little bit of heat, so I'm going in with some chili flakes as well. This is such an easy way to celebrate the flavors of the season. It's so creamy, and there is no cream in this beautiful pasta. Give that a stir up, let it heat through. If you need to, add a little splash of that pasta cooking liquid just to get everything nice and creamy, but then garnish it up with some more chives, maybe a little bit of parm, maybe some pepper. I simply, though, I'm just gonna take a bite, because that's what I love doing. All right, now I promised you corn 3 ways, so let me give this a taste. Oh. That is delicious. That is so good. Another thing that would be really good in that, if you didn't want to use Parmigiano Reggiano, you could throw feta in there, little goat cheese in there. Really tasty, a little bit brighter too, but that was delicious. Now, moving on, I want to move on to the side dish. I'm sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full. It's a hazard of the job. But I want to do corn on the cob. I love corn on the cob. It's a classic for a reason. But I want to tell you how I like to actually cook my corn. So as opposed to boiling your corn on the cob, what I like to do is I bring a large pot of water to a boil over high heat. And then as soon as it's boiling, season it up with salt, add the corn in, turn the heat off, and cover the pot. Set a timer for 8 minutes. As opposed to boiling your corn hard, this is going to slowly cook those kernels, and you're not going to overcook them. One mistake I see a lot of people make when they're cooking corn is they really tend to overcook it because they think, oh, a corn cob, it's pretty thick, it's sturdy. You're not eating the cob. You're throwing that out. You're just trying to cook those kernels. So set that timer for 8 minutes, give them a drain, and you're gonna end up with beautiful, bright, perfect corn every single time. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. What is it about corn that just smells like butter? Oh my gosh, what a dream. So while it's still hot, this is where you're gonna introduce what I'm calling my garlic parmesan corn on the cob. So here I've got my corn looking beautiful, and then I've got my garlic butter, essentially. So I've got about a 1/4 cup of salted butter here. I added in 1/2 teaspoon of dry garlic powder. That gives that roasted garlic flavor without having to do anything. Then I added in a couple tablespoons of those chives. Again, parsley in here would be beautiful, but I love a chive. Get that butter and just slather it onto that beautiful corn on the cob. Now, for the parm, if you want to, you can definitely put that into the butter, but I like to just leave it on top to melt down, and then you're just gonna do my very favorite thing, which is grab your microplane, which you have a microplane, right? Okay, good, yeah. And grate over as much Parmigiano Reggiano as you'd like. Super tasty, really delicious. Maybe a little chive action on there too, but honestly, your guests will go nuts for that. Do it at your next barbecue and everyone's gonna be like, burgers who? Get out of here, I want that corn. All right, last but not least, I promised you a snack. So we're gonna do a corn dip. Nice and creamy, super tasty. And I'm gonna consider this actually corn 2 ways, because we're gonna have corn dip, but we're gonna dip corn chips in the corn dip. So we're getting very corny here. I'm surprised I haven't done a joke yet. All right, now in this bowl here, I have got 1/2 cup of cream cheese at room temperature. You can also use tub-style cream cheese and use that cold from the fridge. In there, I also have 1/2 cup of sour cream and a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. This is kind of a classic creamy dip base, really simple to put together. And now we're gonna add in the flavors that I love with corn and tortilla chips. So the first thing I'm going in with is anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons of chopped pickled jalapeno. What are we feeling, spicy today? Okay, yeah. I'm going 4. Ooh, that was, I'm gonna call that closer to 6. So you do you, whatever you'd like. Give that a bit of a mix to combine. And right now, already, this would taste like a jalapeno popper, and I'm not mad about that. Now, into there, we're gonna brighten things up with some lime zest and lime juice. I've got a lime zested and juiced right in here, added that in. Then I've got some cilantro. Just about 2 tablespoons of cilantro is gonna go right on in. It's gonna give kind of sort of like Mexican street corn vibes with that cilantro in there. Now to season this up almost more like a ranchy kind of style, I'm gonna add in a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. Onion powder to me, anytime I add it into a creamy dip, tastes like ranch dressing, and that's not a bad thing. Then I'm gonna go in with about 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder for that roasty garlic flavor. And then, of course, because there's cheese in everything, I'm just now realizing, we're gonna go in with some feta, about 1/2 cup of crumbled feta cheese. Super tasty. Now, before I did this, I cooked up some corn. I got 5 ears of corn, took the kernels off, cooked those up in butter just like I did with that pasta, but I seasoned it up with green onions and smoked paprika, chili powder, and cayenne. Super tasty. So I'm gonna take that and add that right on in. I'm gonna leave a little aside just to garnish with, but that's gonna be beautiful. Tons of corn in there, give that a stir. If you wanted to as well, you could even leave out, I would probably do the mayonnaise, double up the mayonnaise, leave the cream cheese as is. You could put some like mozzarella or Monterey Jack in here, stick it in the oven. Come on, get out of town. But this to me, there's the chili in there, a little bit of lime, nice and bright and tasty. Pop that in. Garnish that up with some of those little corn kernels. And honestly, you're laughing. Double corn, dip and chips, absolute dream. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.